My name is Matt, and today I'm going to give you 3 techniques that you can apply to your video, filmmaking, or content creation today that will immediately make you a better visual storyteller. So when you're just getting started in video, it can be super overwhelming, the amount of information that's out there. The type of equipment to use, the type of techniques to employ. Anybody can pick up a cell phone or a camera, point it at something, and hit record. But how do you make what you're filming actually engaging or interesting for the audience? That's where these 3 techniques that I'm giving you today come into play. And if you approach your next video with these tips in mind, I guarantee you will be better at telling your story and you will have better quality of images. The first technique is composition. Now, everybody knows the definition of composition, but applying it practically can be a lot more murky. So composition is just how you're setting things within the frame. So whatever you're pointing your cell phone or camera at, how are you displaying that? For example, I could be filming this shot with my camera set standing height, pointed at me, and just be filming this video that way. And that would be fine, but it wouldn't be a very interesting or engaging look. It just wouldn't look compelling. Instead though, what I'm doing is I've mounted my camera to the hood of my car and I framed it so that you can see me in the driver's seat while also being able to see some of the sky and the road. That is composition. It's how you're arranging the things that are within the frame. Another example is that if you were to pull out your cell phone and point it at a stop sign, if you were to just take a picture of a stop sign from normal height, that picture is probably not going to blow anybody's mind. But if you were to get really close to that stop sign, crouch down low and angle your camera upwards, now that exact same subject, the stop sign, is being shown in a totally new and unique way. That's composition, and that's why it's such a powerful tool. The second technique is right in line with composition, and that is rule of thirds. Now, rule of thirds is one of the most basic principles of visual storytelling. And essentially, instead of placing your subject in the middle of your frame, just move them a little bit to the left or right. It sounds like a very basic thing, and it is a very basic thing, but it's the small things when you're making video that make the largest difference. A lot of cameras and even cell phones today will have guidelines that you can overlay on your screen. They don't show up in your final image, but they're there to help you line up your subject on one of these rule of thirds. The way to visually think about it is imagine 2 lines intersecting your frame both horizontally and vertically. Where these points cross or intersect is where you want to put your subject. And just this simple act of moving somebody from the middle of the frame to one of the rules of thirds gives your entire scene a much more intriguing nature. So the third and final technique that we're going to talk about today is lighting. Now, lighting is a very, very broad subject, and it's one that people can spend years mastering when it comes to video or photography. And that's because there is a whole lot that goes into lighting a subject, lighting a scene, and understanding how temperature and different types of lights affect different subjects and scenes. But for today, I just want you to start trying to incorporate lighting into your shot. And what I mean by that is just start playing around with it. Don't rely on just the ambient light, whatever the light is that's already in the scene, inside or outside. Instead, bring some lights. I don't care what kind they are. They don't have to be big, fancy, expensive lights. Bring a lamp, bring a flashlight. By playing around with lighting, you will begin to unlock untold potential as far as improving the quality of your image. And again, let's take this shot right here as an example. If I did not light this shot, if I relied on just the ambient light, you would not be able to see me right now. I would be completely in shadow, and that would not make for a very good image. It wouldn't make for a very good video because you would not be able to see me. However, that's not the case here because I am lighting this shot. I have a small aperture MC light right on the dashboard in front of me, and I have a larger light panel in the passenger side seat. And these are emitting enough light that allow me to still be able to be seen even though we've moved past magic hour and are going into evening. And this is the difference between picking up a camera or a cell phone, pointing it at something and hitting record, and actually applying critical thinking to your images. So these three techniques, composition, rule of thirds, and lighting, those are the three things that the next time you pick up your cell phone or camera, I want you to actively have in your mind as you go out and practice. Apply them to a random subject that you see along the side of the road. Approach it when you are asking your friend if you can film them doing the dishes or messing around on the golf course or whatever the case. If you consider composition, rule of thirds, and lighting into your next video and you don't see marked improvement from your previous video, then you can come back here and you can call me a liar. But I am going to guarantee that I will not get a single one of those comments because I'm that confident that those three easy things will have that dramatic of an impact on your next video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I, as always, very much appreciate it. If you liked this style of video, make sure to hit subscribe as we continue to grow here on the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you back here next time on Create, Rinse, Repeat.